So I'm at RED Winches with an INEOS Grenadier. This is not one that can be road registered because it is a test mule, and it has been given to RED Winches for development. And Neil is going to tell us a bit about the backstory on that development for the Grenadier, and also what this is, which is not a standard part. So Neil, let's start with the standard part you can buy from INEOS.
Yep.
And I believe that's a winch which is specifically designed for the Grenadier and the Quartermaster. It's not a standard low mount due to packaging constraints, and there's a few other constraints of it. So the vehicle's got to be in drive, neutral or reverse.
Correct.
And the engine's got to be running.
Correct.
And you've only got 15 metres of winch rope. Did I miss anything?
So it's also rope over drum, not under drum,
right,
due to the way that the winch is packaged into the front.
Let's just explain what rope over drum actually is.
Yep. So rope over drum, the fairlead would be positioned to the top here. The rope would pass in over the top of the drum and then wrap underneath.
Okay. And what's the pros and cons of over versus under?
We have not found any difference during testing. Mm-hmm. However, there is a school of thought that rope over drum will actually, in some cases, force more compression on the front vehicle suspension and increase load when maybe you're cresting something when winching.
Yeah, I'm not convinced about that, but yeah. Okay, so from a other limitation perspective, anything else?
So it's not great from an access point of view.
You
can't visually see how your rope is spooling easily on the drum, and if you do need to do any maintenance, it does involve removing the belly plate here and getting up from beneath really to get to the winch.
Okay.
So INEOS, they were constrained by construction and use regulations, pedestrian safety and so on, to be able to bring the vehicle to all markets. So it's great that they've managed to actually bring a vehicle to market with a factory fitted winch, but some users want something a bit different.
Okay.
And this is the solution.
And this is the solution. Okay, so let's talk about what this is then. So this is a bumper bar that you've created, or?
Yes. Okay. So
bull bar? Or?
It's a winch mount.
Winch mount.
Right, okay. So in the UK here, we've got the Lifeboat Institute, RNLI. And they're coming over to the Grenadiers, and they wanted to have larger rope capacity, easy access to the winch, particularly from the point of view of being able to remove the winch to wash down after saltwater submersion. So we've created this winch mount. Now the winch mount replaces the centre section of the Grenadier's bumper.
Yeah.
It also
so it's only this bit that is.
Changed. Yeah,
changed.
this is factory.
Okay, right.
Yeah, on both sides.
Yeah, yeah.
There are some support brackets for the radiator and the oil cooler. I think that's the right way around.
Yeah.
And on the ECE models, we have to replace those as well.
Yeah.
On the rest of world model, we only need to replace the winch mount.
Yeah.
Now, there's a few variations. So we've got ECE and rest of world. So your North American, your Australian customers are going to be rest of world model. European customers, ECE, and Africa, rest of world. Then if the vehicle's got parking sensors, this one doesn't, so we've got these smaller holes here.
Okay.
Or if the vehicle's got front parking sensors, we make that larger, and then you can remount the parking sensors.
And it's airbag compatible?
So with the airbag compatibility, the crush can sits in behind here. So we are picking up on the same mounting points as the original front cross member. The only part really that's been removed is the plastics. Yeah. So fully airbag compatible. We don't have any warning lights or any issues by doing that install.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what we have, so this will now take a standard low mount winch. So whilst it's a RED winch in here, we could fit any other low mount winch because it's just now got the kind of de facto industry standard.
Yep.
So that's a bonus,
but
which means
we don't necessarily need to fit the standard low mount. If you want more rope capacity, we can offer this for the wider drum versions, including the high mounts as well.
You've got space for the high mount, so you get a lot more flexibility for the type of winch you can fit in. So a low mount like this, or some of the other winches you'll see in the other video, can fit in. But the main thing is it's now easily accessible. You can actually see the drum here and get to everything, and you can get to it's just, and I really like that accessibility, which is pretty rare these days with modern winches. So I think overall that's an improvement, because now the other thing is all those limitations about having to have the engine running and the vehicle in not in park, etc. And by the way, there's there are arguments for that, but in a winching situation for four-wheel drive recovery, the amount of limitations you want is defined by a factor called 0. Nothing, no limitations, because you might need to be winching when your engine doesn't work. And so you don't want some software limitation there. And you don't have any of these limitations with this, do you? You can do whatever you want.
So there's two ways of wiring it.
Yeah.
Okay. Option A is keep the original factory wiring if the vehicle's got the high amp accessory package with the 500 amp switch, and go into the isolator behind the headlamp here. Or option B, which would be my preferred choice, is we supply it with the longer cabling to run back to the battery, your traditional twist shut off switch, and then the vehicle doesn't know it's running the winch. None of the ECUs are going to get in the way of you being able to operate the winch.
Yep. Okay. So for me, this is the better option because it can take any winch. You don't get those limitations, and yeah, I just prefer this over the factory one.